Okay, so if you're getting into wood carving, you're gonna need some patterns. You can go on to like Google, or you can go to your library, look up wood carving books. This is probably really hard to see. You can just go through and search for them. It's fine. I'll try to put this in a link. This guy, it's for chainsaw carving, but this owl that I'm working on right now is one. In fact, it's clear down here at the bottom. If I click on it, it opens it up. It's a PDF, but and you can download it, you can print it, free to use. Tell the guy thank you though. I would. It's a great horned owl. You can just print this off. If you print it off, this is how, like an 8.5 by 11. This is how big it's actually going to be on the paper. My stand's a little long, I know, but this is what I'm working on now. But yeah, he's got all sorts of things. He's got a couple different owls. He's got a great horned owl, a great gray owl. There's an eagle on here. I thought that was pretty cool. Two different types of eagles. Well, three. There's a head. There's a standing eagle where his head's turned and to the side, and there's a standing eagle where his head's facing straight. Both of them are pretty cool. But this site's nice. It goes over how to do it in chainsaw, or with a chainsaw. Sorry. From there though, you can figure out how to do it with your palm tools and your knife and that. It's a great site. I'll post it in the description. Here's a place you can buy some stuff. The Woodcraft Shop. If you go down, like you open up the page, this is what it's going to look like. Kind of hard to see, I know. I can bring it closer. Probably should. You scroll down. Our current catalog, number 512. It's free. You can get that, and you can go through it rather than looking at it online. Or if you want to look at all their stuff online, be my guest. Up to you. I'll try and post a link to there. You can draw patterns. This pattern is a bear pattern, which actually comes from this guy. I'll post a link to his website so you can use the pattern. If I scroll down, from a bronze bear, I made this pattern and carved several bears. Feel free to download the picture and have fun. I did carve this bear actually out of a piece of pine from a 2x6, and it was beautiful. My wood was just barely thick enough. And it says the original carving is 6 inches long, 3 3/4 inches high, and 1 3/4 inches wide. So there's that pattern there, free to use. I will post this one. This guy is awesome. Yeah, I haven't really talked to him that much, but I've talked to him a little bit. So you can also draw your patterns. This is I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook because I do drawings. Not very hard. If you have, for example, I could take this. I could take a couple pictures of it, one from the front. I take one from the side, and I take one from the back, and maybe even the top. From there, I could take it and I can put the pictures into this program, and I can just draw over it, and then I can get rid of the images, and then I have my pattern right there. That is one way to do it. You can also do it by hand. Either way works. So, like I said, you can take pictures. And you can do it. This is something my grandpa carved, not me. I promise. I'm not that good. But yeah, in order to do that, you'll need a pattern. You can get a book. I'm going to turn the camera now. This is one my grandpa bought me. It's got a leopard pattern here, a few other patterns, tells you how to do stuff. Wood carving. What's the name of it? Wood Carving Illustrated. You can go to the website woodcarvingillustrated.com and go there. If you do this, I would not cut out the pattern. I would take a piece of paper, put it over it, and then trace the pattern, and then from there put it on a piece of wood. Take your traced pattern, cut it out. This is that same bear. I'm going to use it as an example. And then you take it and you put it on the piece of wood. It's kind of hard to see. Ooh, there we go. I lost the top part of the thing, so I'm going to have to print another one off and go for it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a little folder that I keep all my patterns in. There's the owl, little wolf, bison, cougar, Just a lot of different things. Here's the bear again. When I printed it off, it was this large, and I was like, ooh, that's way too big. I printed off the eagle at the same time, and I don't have, well, now I have wood that big, but at the time I didn't. So, completely up to you. Print it off however big you want it. I'd put it over into a Word document and adjust it from there. Just make sure that when you do it, you have a piece of wood that's big enough. If you're carving animals, this is a very bad cut. I know my lines are not straight. I don't know what happened. This is wood that I cut myself, so you can do that. You can go and you can cut your own wood, or you can buy wood. If you buy wood, it'll be pretty symmetrical. This is one I cut too, but it won't have a lot of color sometimes. It'll just be pretty bland, so I like to cut my own wood. So yeah, this is bass that I have right out here. This is bass, this is bass. This is poplar. But yeah, you're going to want some that's kind of like a 2x4. You're going to want it kind of thin, but you want it very tall. Make sure your pattern is going to work. I know for this one the bear is going to work. I've done it enough, and I've done that. I've only done it once, but I've done it enough. But there's enough there that I can see that this is going to work. See how straight my lines are? Yeah. You're going to want to make sure it is tall enough, wide enough. Try not to get any knots in the wood. Though it is very pretty with all the knots and stuff, that is not going to be fun to carve. Just telling you that now. You're going to want a piece of wood that's got not much. Maybe if you want a lot of color in that, you can get color in the wood. But you want something with not a lot of features. No knots. That stuff is not going to be fun to carve. I have some other wood, some of the poplar, has got this branch knot in it. This one's got 2 of them. Though the wood's pretty, it's not going to be too fun to carve. You want something that's going to look like this, not that. So this over here, not that. I got a little one there too. It just makes it cut easier. So I got a good piece. Whoop. Dropped that one. See, something like this. This is from the saw, has been burned. It's not actually part of the wood. Something like that, where it's smooth all the way across. This is going to be good for carving. You're also going to want to make sure your wood is dry. If you are cutting your own wood, then you're going to have to dry it out. I did a video on that, how to dry it and stuff. So I'd recommend going and watching that, so you can learn, and that way as you're sitting there carving, it won't split on you. It does often split though. This was a crack actually before, but I'm going to show you as an example. So I have this big split here. It's not a good example, is it? Let's do this one. So I got a little bit of cracking going on. This is the center of the wood too, so that's understandable. I didn't paint it very good, so try to paint it good, cover it well, and what it does is it just makes the wood so it has to dry slower, dries a little more evenly. Also, when cutting wood, just grab this real quick. Also, when you're cutting the wood, you're going to want pieces that are, try to get them like pretty even and shaped however you want to shape it. I don't care. Try not to get anything like this, is what I was looking for. This was the core of the wood. It kind of comes in a little bit, and I have this divot now in my wood. Now this is going to be not fun when I go to carve something. I'm going to have to work around that. My wood's also starting to crack. I need to paint these soon. But I plan on doing an owl out of this. It's not going to bother me that much. I'd recommend painting your wood, otherwise you're going to get, whoop, there goes another piece. You're going to get stuff like this. This was the end piece. This has got cracked pretty good. Cut it off here. I probably am going to use the piece that was over here. I may or may not use this. Depends on how deep these cracks go. And by the looks of it, they go pretty deep. I know I'm rambling. I'm meaning to. I promise. Here's another piece, just an example. You're going to want to try to get something that does not have the cracks in it, because it's just going to be that much harder to work around. Also, you want to, this is a nasty piece of wood. One, this side's not cut, as you can see. You want something that's cut good on every side. If you buy your wood, you don't have this problem. If you don't buy your wood and you cut it yourself, you're going to have this problem. But yeah, that's my little rant. So if you cut the wood, just be careful. You can use round pieces. It's harder to put the pattern on. I'd recommend just not using round pieces, getting some kind of squarish. It's a little easier. There's something else I was going to say. Keep the scraps. They come in handy, believe me. I plan on doing a video as soon as I've cut out a little piece for my wolf. Fixing his ear. I broke it off. I dropped it. I know. I feel horrible. So yeah. Have fun carving though. And don't steal patterns. Look for them. You can go to the library and use those patterns. That's fine. I'm trying to think. Talk to other people that you know that carve. See if you can get patterns from them to practice with. Go buy some books. If you learn to draw, that'll help you out a lot. Because then you can draw your own patterns for one. And if you're like me, you can't find a dragon pattern, so you get to draw your own pattern and then you can use it. So yeah, when you're putting your pattern on, this is what I was going to talk about. When you're putting your pattern on, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have like a couple pieces. That's what I was going to talk about. So I put this on this side here. Try and get it as straight as possible. Okay, vertical up and down. Now I draw that on and I put this one here. You can already see that's not going to work. What I'd recommend doing is drawing a baseline, like this tail's a marker because there's that tail there. Drawing a line all the way across and straight as you can get it, going all the way around the wood. I would mark it how high he is, how tall he is, like the top of him, going around too. From there, use this to line it up, and then decide how far forward or over you want them. This isn't gonna bother you much if it's more sideways one way or the other. Another thing, if you have this, cool. Put it on this side and carve it, or yeah, put it on this side, reverse it, so flip it over, and put it on this side. Have those lines there the same way. Same thing for this. If you just have it in the front like that. If you can line it up, great. Put it on the back. If not, I wasn't able to because my piece of wood had this in it that came all the way up, which is going to be fun. I had to move his tail over, and that looks really weird, and we have to fix that later. But anyway, try and get as many sides as you can. It'll help out a little bit. I ended up keeping his face, so the top part of him on this side, the top part of him on this side of the wood, and then I left the bottom piece down here because of the fact that he was closer to this side of the wood on his head and his tail was closer to this side. That helped out a lot actually when I was making his beak and that, and I took a saw. Another thing, where'd it go? If you're using a saw, I don't mean a saw like this, and I can zoom out a little bit. I don't mean a saw like this, okay? If you notice on here, it's upside down. It says bimetal hacksaw blade, metal. This is for cutting metal, not wood. Okay? You want a little saw. Oh, I lost mine. It was here. I was trying to keep. Oh, there it is. There we go. You'd want one like this. This will help a lot. This is for cutting wood. That's what you want. A saw blade for cutting wood, not metal. So yeah, that's about it. My video is a lot longer than I want it to be. Have fun, wear gloves, and go online and look around for patterns.